Okay, I'm responding to Zach's claim that television has a significant negative effect on children. His secondary claims were TV is harmful to a child's physical health, TV hinders social and academic progress, and TV causes children's attention spans to grow shorter. My counterclaim is that the evidence and reasoning that he provided is insufficient to lead to the conclusion that TV has a significant negative effect on children. So his first claim, TV is harmful to a child's physical health. I have a problem with the evidence he used. He used an article by Jessica Rampton to say that watching TV is directly related to childhood obesity. But that's not the claim that she makes in the article. Her actual claim is that it's the advertisements in TV shows that causes obesity in children, not the TV show itself. So her suggestion to fix that problem is TiVo the shows and then fast forward through the commercials. Problem solved. I also have a problem with the reasoning in Claim 1. Zach quoted a study that concluded that the number of TV hours watched is directly related to a child's chance of obesity. But that doesn't indicate causality. It might just be the case that kids who watch a lot of TV are more likely to eat a lot of junk food, or also more likely to live an inactive lifestyle, and that could be the cause. So Claim 1 is weak. Claim 2, TV hinders social and academic progress. I have a big problem with the evidence on this one. All the evidence that he used to support this claim came from one source, and it was a bad source. It was an article on a website called Newsline, and the subtitle of the website was A Service of the News and Public Affairs Unit in Alabama. So I don't know what this website is. There's nothing on the site that says where it gets its authority. And there was an article on the website. There was no author attached to the article. Dr. Abel was the only expert mentioned in the article. And there were 3 points that he used to support this claim. 2 of those 3 points came out of the article, and they got their authority from some researchers. Said da-da-da-da-da. Don't know who they were. One of those points was given authority from Dr. Abel, so that's fine. So Claim 2 has bad support. Claim 3 was TV causes children's attention spans to grow shorter. So first of all, the evidence. Zach used Dimitri Christakis' research to say that TV viewing is linked to short attention span in children. Well, this guy, Dimitri Christakis, came from an article by Marilyn Elias, and the article was about research being done on kids watching TV. Dimitri was just one of several experts that she mentioned in the article. She mentions another researcher named Stuart Fishoff, who says the change isn't necessarily bad, talking about shorter attention spans. And she closes the article with another expert named Vicki Rideout, who says, we need to take a closer look at how media affects children. We hardly know anything about it. So the article is inconclusive. And I have also a problem with the reasoning on Claim 3. Rideout and Fishoff, the 2 people that I just mentioned, raised the question, do short attention spans harm children? In other words, how do we know that shorter attention spans have a significant negative effect on children? So Claim 3 has poor support and evidence, and it is not linked to the main claim. So in conclusion, the refutation that I've just done shows that the evidence and the reasoning that has been provided here is insufficient to lead to the conclusion that TV has a significant negative effect on children.
All right, Kyle, the labeling is clear, so following the argument's not problematic. The signpost on the first point, you basically come in with an argument that says that the evidence is not really in context. and then there's an explanation about the causality. And I thought that you did a pretty good job suggesting, for instance, that the advocate's evidence is really a conclusion about advertising rather than about television watching itself. So I thought that that was a very good response to that particular point. On the second point, though, you've got a direct challenge on the evidence, and your challenge is mostly about the source not being clear enough, not being specific, that only one person is actually identified on the source. Okay, those are reasonable general challenges. But it really sounds more like an evaluation than it is a challenge to the point that's being presented here. And if there was any evidence that you could offer suggesting an alternative conclusion, that would have been really effective to point out and say, look, the only evidence that the advocate has is this website from some Alabama TV station that provides us without any source citations to reach this particular conclusion. And I've given you a study that I've qualified. You can contrast those two positions and see why my conclusion is the more valid one. As it is, it just seems like it's kind of, like I said, well, they didn't do a very good job presenting their argument there instead of an argument against that particular point. I did think that on the last point that you raised some perfectly legitimate questions, especially since you've taken two quotes from the advocate's own source that suggest that the conclusions need to be carefully evaluated. You asked a reasonable question about whether or not short attention span is a problematic thing. But the truth of the matter is that, again, asking a question is not the same thing as making a claim and developing an argument on the point. And if we had any reason to believe that in some situations shorter attention span would be useful, for example, if there was data that showed that people who watch television get the point more quickly, or that they are able to process greater amounts of data, or they can multitask or something like that, that seems like it's a good counterclaim on the point. Otherwise, it's just a legitimate question to ask, but not particularly convincing. All right, thank you.